Hey my friends, how's it going? First of all, click on subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos from now on. Bro Uho, today I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me on New Year's Eve, guys. I was at the beach with my family, just chilling. We were in Rio das Ostras, you know, that city I've already talked about in my videos where I used to live. That's right, we were just relaxing at the beach. That year, there were no fireworks. The mayor said they were out of money, you know? I don't know why, right? Even so, we went to the beach since there weren't any fireworks this year, right? A lot of people bought their own fireworks to set off right there on the beach. That's where the danger is, guys. A crowd, more fireworks, more people wanting to set off fireworks on the beach. The new year begins, everyone hugging each other, happy and joyful, looking at the sky, people setting off their fireworks, everything is wonderful. When suddenly about 5 meters from us, a bomb explodes, boom! The person set it off wrong and it exploded right on the ground. That was wild. We watched closely and stayed alert. Something definitely went wrong over there. And we kept looking at the sky, just chilling, everyone happy. Then suddenly I see a firework crossing the horizon line. Like that, you know? Coming up from a crowd way back there like that. And I kept watching, following that thing with my eyes, that red thing tearing through the sky like that. Damn, this firework is too horizontal to go higher, huh? Oh well, let's see where it ends up. The firework fell in the middle of the crowd, dude, right in the middle of a group of people like that. And then exactly 2 seconds later, the thing exploded. Boom, man, I saw people jumping, dude. It looked like a grenade. It looked like someone had thrown a grenade, man. And there was that explosion, dude. What a crazy thing that was, man. It was a family that was there, man. And it had just been something from a firework shot, man. The firework had hit the old man's thigh, man. He took off his pants. As soon as it caught fire, he ran toward the beach and dove in. Man, we were all shocked. Damn, dude, what was that, man? That was crazy, man. Then he came back, right? He came out of the water and we could see this huge hole in his pants, you know? They were those synthetic pants, they kind of melted, right? We couldn't tell if he was hurt. But man, what a scare, dude, what a scare. Starting 2017 already crazy, right, guys? I don't know if it was an accident or intentional, but man, that person is really clueless. You have to be really careful when setting off those fireworks. It could have been something more serious, right? It could have killed someone I don't know or blinded them, but luckily nothing serious happened to Korua. He managed to walk out of there and everything. And then we left too, so we wouldn't be targeted by fireworks. When I was a child, one thing that really scared me was the darkness. If my parents told me to do something and that place was dark, I would already get extremely scared. In my mind, any kind of threat could come out of there. Just having to walk down the hallway to get to the kitchen and then turn on the light was already something terrifying. There was a day when we were up on the terrace looking at the sky and all, just hanging out, you know? Then there came a time when they asked me to go downstairs to get some water.
Just a note, there was no one there, it was all dark. But guys, there's no one downstairs.
What's up with that, Leo Augusto? Go ahead, there's no danger, the dog is protecting the yard. But the problem isn't the yard, it's the supernatural and evil forces that might be inside the house. That's just in your head, my son. Go get that water already, my throat is parched. The house I lived in had 2 floors, so I went downstairs very scared, watching, alert to any supernatural manifestation. One way I developed to scare off any kind of ghost or monster was to go singing, saying something, you know? In my mind, that would scare away evil. Look at that, that brat is singing really loud. For some reason, the sun is kicking me out of this place. No man, on the way to the kitchen, I started talking like a madman. I ran quickly to the light switch like this, right? And then I turned on the light, click, whew, now I can get the water and get out of here. Oh my god, the light didn't help. Now a portal to hell has opened in the kitchen. Wow, what's with all the screaming? Kid, you crazy brat, let me have my coffee here. Jeez, what's wrong with you? One thing I loved back in school was recess time. It was liberating to spend 20 minutes away from the classroom after being locked up for so many hours. Imagine an animal that would naturally be free in the forest but is caged. That was me in the classroom. I would go crazy, counting the minutes until I could hear the sound of freedom from that little bell. Bling! It was during recess that the cool things happened. Back then, the only fun we had was playing ball, tag, those kinds of things, right? Until a new kind of fun showed up, man. The Yu-Gi-Oh card games, man, that revolutionized recess time, dude, in such a way that everyone just wanted to play that. I summoned the white dragon with a cracked head. And I'm going to summon your mom so she can see you killing. Class, it's still possible to play cards. For the principal's office. At school, I had my friends to play with, to have epic battles, you know. That card tournament was wild, man. Then when I got home, my neighborhood friends kept the games going. There was always that card trading going on, man. One would trade with another. Cards that you had duplicates of. You could trade with a friend of yours or with people you didn't know, right? It was one more reason for you to make friends. It was really cool, but all of that would change overnight. With the craze for this game, right? With those Yu-Gi-Oh cards, many parents started to get worried about their kids who only talked about that at home. I summoned the Dark Magician in attack mode. I'll set this trap card here, Hellfire, to protect myself from your attacks, okay? My god, my son is messing with black magic. Hey kid, what's this about summoning the devil? Are you crazy? Let's go to church. The priest is going to throw holy water on you. I remember my parents didn't care much about this. They knew it was just a cartoon, right? A cartoon game. My classmates' parents didn't really think that way, right? The following week, I got to school and to my surprise, all my friends were without their cards. Everyone was really sad. They said their parents had confiscated their cards, you know, man. I was desperate. When class was over, I ran home, changed clothes, went out to the street and looked for my friends. I found just two of them on the street and asked, "Hey, where is everyone? Let's play. Leo Augusto." Our parents burned our cards. They're saying this game is from the devil and they won't let us play anymore, man. It's over. Our fun is gone. It was a nightmare, my friends. I didn't have any friends left to play with. Everyone had their cards reduced to ashes. Recess would never be the same again. One thing I loved when I was a kid was Easter. What kid doesn't go crazy over chocolate eggs? I remember I used to eat a lot Manovix. I got them from my mom, my uncles, my grandparents, my neighbors. Oh man, I don't know how I wasn't obese, but Easter wasn't just about eating chocolate. My family is religious, and we always followed the traditions. During Holy Week, we had to fast from one day to the next. Not eating red meat, doing that basic procession under the hot sun, and so on. There was a day when I woke up really hungry, man. I went to the kitchen looking for food, opened the fridge, and made myself a huge burger. Like a foot tall, really loaded. When I was about to eat, "My son, what are you doing?"
Today is not a day to eat red meat. Are you crazy?
But this is hamburger. Grandma, I'm really hungry.
Eat something else, kid. Bread with water, I don't know. Here, take this for you to eat. And don't eat anything else because we're going to...
The procession. Ah, okay, Grandma. Nena, are you going to comb your hair? It's all messy.
My grandma said that today you can't comb your hair, sweep the house, or anything. It's a day of mourning.
I get it. Good thing I don't have hair.
After that, we went to the procession at the neighborhood church. The sun was blazing hot. It had already been about 5 hours since I ate that bread. Damn. I was starving. I felt like my stomach was already digesting itself. I'm hungry. Can I go to the pastry shop and buy something?
Of course not. You can't leave here. See this as a way to pay for your sins. You're always messing up. We have to go up to the church to attend mass.
I'm so tired, I might faint.
Hey, wake up, boy. We're almost at the church.
When we arrived, there was a huge crowd. Oh my god. I was starving and I still had to keep sitting and standing up from the chair. There was a moment when the priest was giving out some round cookies to people, man. I went quickly, right? And I grabbed mine to try to hold on, right? All I know is that when I got home, man, I ate everything that was in front of me.
Bro,
Now that's it. Hey my friends, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to tell a story that happened to me a long time ago but still remains in my mind. If you're not subscribed to this awesome little channel, please subscribe so you don't miss any videos, alright? A long time ago, my family and I went to the Rio dos Lagos here in Rio de Janeiro, more specifically to the city of Rio das Ostras. We used to go by combi. We would put everything inside that wonderful vehicle which looked more like a house, and then we would hit the road. My father worked a few days a week at a school in that city, so we would stay at the beach while he was working. When night came, we usually slept in the staff accommodation provided by the city hall, and the next day, we would do the same thing all over again. Beach. Until one day, a friend of my father's invited us to spend the night at his house. He said there was enough space for everyone and it was all good, so we went to the guy's house. One interesting thing is that most of the houses didn't have very high walls. In fact, they were pretty small, the opposite of where we lived. The wall was huge and full of security cameras and guards on standby, ready to intercept any intruder. That made me feel a bit strange because I thought any threat could come to us, like a criminal or something. Anyway, it was time to sleep. It was really hot that night, so we decided to sleep on the porch. There were some couches, so I lay down on one of them to get some sleep. Man, I started to feel mosquito bites that wouldn't let me fall asleep. I constantly heard buzzing sounds. I went to the room where my mom was to ask if there was any extra sheet, because then I would make a cocoon and protect myself from the insects. Man, when I look, she's fanning my sister with a piece of cardboard. It was about 45 degrees, man, full of mosquitoes, and there wasn't a single fan in the room. In that house, nobody used one. They slept with the window open. There weren't any sheets, my son. I couldn't sleep either because of the heat and the mosquitoes. Your sister fell asleep, so I'm protecting her. If I stop fanning, that's it. I might as well go to the bed and sleep there. I close all the windows, then no mosquito will get me. You'll get too hot and run out of oxygen. It's better to go back. Okay, Mom, take care. I'll cover myself with the towel. I went back to the little couch where I was sleeping. My cousins and my dad, who were on the balcony, were all snoring, man. I don't know how they managed to sleep in those conditions, so I tried to protect myself from the mutant mosquitoes by covering myself up. Man, it was so hot. As if that wasn't enough, a really bad rotten smell started coming in. I was in a terrible situation. Next to the house, there was an abandoned lot, kind of like a swamp. That's where that putrid smell was coming from. I was really scared that the zombie would come out of there jumping over the wall, which was pretty low, you know? And I imagined it eating my brain while I was sleeping, until there came a moment when I just couldn't resist falling asleep. When I realized it, it was already morning. I thanked God for seeing the sun. I looked at my body, it was all beaten up. I woke everyone up and we got out of there. Man, that was crazy. What a struggle. That was definitely the worst night of my life. Hey, my friends, how's it going? This is Leo. Today I'll share what it was like living in the countryside for a few days. That's right, guys, I spent a few days in the countryside, man, with no internet, dude. That was really crazy, man. I thought I was going to get bored there, but no, dude, it was actually pretty exciting. My mother-in-law has an uncle who lives way out in the countryside of Minas. When I say countryside, I mean it's really remote. You know those places where the nearest neighbor is 2 kilometers away? That's what it's like. To get to my mother-in-law's uncle's house, we had to drive about 40 kilometers from the neighboring town to a dirt road. After that, we had to climb a huge mountain. Man, it was a long walk, seriously, man. From up there, the view was great. Just grass, cattle, trees, and birds. There weren't any buildings around, man. It was pure nature. After climbing the whole mountain, we arrived at Uncle's property. Along the way, many fruits, including tangerines, lay wasted on the ground because no one picked them. We started climbing a hill, eating those fruits we found along the way until we finally got to Uncle's house right at the top of the mountain. It was really cool, man. He was cooking beans over a wood fire. That's right, man, wood, a little fire in his backyard. The house where Uncle lived was really simple, you know, but it had electricity. That's already a big deal, right? I don't know how electricity got there, man, because it was a dense forest, you know what I mean? The water came from a spring right there, man. To collect the water, he put a pipe in the ground and brought it closer to his house. One thing this house didn't have was a bathroom. Damn, man, now what? How are we going to take a dump? The uncle built a little wooden house to simulate a bathroom, right? Outside the house. But when I went to see the bathroom, man, what was it like? There was no toilet, dude. The floor was just dirt and there was a wooden part for us to rest our feet, right? But there was nothing to sit on, you know? To relax and do your business there. But I'll tell you that story in another video, right? Anyway, the first big mission we did there was to improve Uncle's house entrance. The height from the house to the yard was really big. When we went down, we had to take a really big step to reach the ground. If it was tough for us, imagine how hard it is for a man in his 70s. My mother-in-law suggested that we put a stone there to serve as a step, right? That way it would make going down easier. My father-in-law and I went looking for a stone to put in place. That's when our work really began. Moving a super heavy stone to the entrance of the house, man, seriously, what a weight that was. It must have weighed about 250 kilos, that solid stone, man, pure rock. My father-in-law and I killed ourselves to move it. Check out this video my mother-in-law recorded.
This little rock is really intense. It must weigh about 200 kilos. This little rock is really something. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are going to be able to put up there on that step. All of this is so Grandpa doesn't fall off the ladder. They're getting a step ready. Come on, come on. Look at those muscles, guys. Guys, how much do you think that little step they're trying to get weighs?
This way now, hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Not to mention that the ground here is made of clay, which is slipperier than soap.
We're trying to pull the rock, but it doesn't come easy, man, because it's really heavy. We had to drag it all the way to the front. Man, what a crazy situation. I've never used so much strength in my entire life.
Every time Leonel Augusto draws a rock in his cartoons, he'll remember this rock. That's it, all the best, a funny video moment. I'm going to help these boys, bye.
Wow, man, just looking at this footage already made me tired.
I think he gave you guys a challenge. They put that rock there. I think that rock there.
Looks good there.
Yeah, I think that was his setup. When they arrive, when he comes back from the cattle ranch, I want to see the shock he's going to have. When he sees that you actually managed to put that stone there.
But in the end, we managed to put the stone in place, mano. And look at Uncle's reaction when he sees that we made a step for him with that stone. Loss.
Yeah. Now we are
Touching up here, putting on makeup.
to set it so it doesn't.
Let go to steady it. That's right, it's holding firm. And that's how we managed to make the house step, mano. It got much better for us to go down, and especially for Uncle to go down. Since he lives there, he won't have as much trouble now. It was really risky for him to go down there like that, you know? From that height, we did that there, and I think he really liked it, and that step is going to last for a long time. I still have a lot of stories to tell, guys. If you want me to keep going, let me know in the comments, write it down, share it with your friends, and leave a lot of likes. Let's break the like record on this video, guys, if you want a continuation, right? Thanks everyone, see you next time, bye.